Hello and welcome back to the Roxo Test Kitchen. Today I am testing another recipe. It's the second one from the same site, and that is a spicy perspective. And I really liked what we did last time, which was the low carb chicken mushroom soup. Really good. If you haven't tried that yet, absolutely go try that. It's probably the video right before this one now that I think about it. So today is chicken chile verde. It's a chicken chile verde recipe. And I'm using an ingredient today I have never cooked with before. It's a tomatillo. Yes, it looks like tomatillo, but it's tomatillo. So I'm gonna go finish cleaning these up. This is that funky looking vegetable that's in your produce section that you're like, I don't even know what that is. What do you use those for? This recipe. So you take them off and they're kind of sticky underneath this papery stuff. So I'm gonna go wash this last one, then we're going to quarter these and get our recipe started. Just in case I didn't say already, which I know I didn't, I'm Dr. Sam Graver. This is my channel. This is a creative project we're doing aside from talking about all things low carb, ketogenic, ketogenesis, menopause, health, metabolic health. I like to cook. And this is something that we get to do for fun. Tyler is my main squeeze, and he's also my production assistant, my editor, my sous chef, all the things to make me look good here. Hopefully I look good. I don't know. I don't care if I look good, but hopefully it makes me look good like we know what we're doing. It's fun to be here. I'll be right back. All right. So here we go. Our tomatillos. Let me get all those out. So this recipe calls for about a pound of those. And here we are. Put that back in there. Okay, so a couple of these had little funky spots. I'm gonna cut those out. Where are you, you little stinker? Just trying to hide from me. Here it is. Okay, so we're gonna get that guy out of there. Oh, look on the inside. Okay, so there's all these, I don't know if you can see, but there, all these little seeds and everything. And this is the funky part, so we're gonna get rid of that, put it in our compost. But the rest of these, we smell them. Smells like, I mean, definitely earthy, not tomatoey. Oh, this is really interesting. I'm excited for this. Now these are kind of big chunks, so I'm gonna cut them in half. Quartered, so eighth, is that what we say? I'm not sure. Quartered then halved. I think that's a better bite size. Now, of course, they're going to shrink a little bit, I guess, when we cook them, but I feel like that's going to be a better size piece for eating. That is the ultimate goal here. Eat something good, try something new. And here we go. Okay. These big ones. So I don't know, I think it's kind of fun to try different foods that maybe you've never tried before, and you might want to get a little adventurous out in your grocery store, or if you go to a local market and something grows well in your area that maybe you haven't tried. The neat thing about AI and YouTube is you can find a lot of different recipes with your chosen ingredients. And I feel like nature kind of provided for us this bounty, this variety, so that we can get the nutrients that we need. I don't know, it's personal philosophy. It's worked well pretty so far, I guess. I like it. Okay, continuing here. And because of the color, I'm also feeling like we're gonna get a good amount of vitamin C out of this guy. And probably some other goodies that I can't think of right now. That's something I could do. Yeah, if you subscribe here, which I hope you will, and come back here and there, I'm gonna start looking up some of these ingredients and, learn myself a little bit about them, and then share some of the reasons why it might be good for us to have these in our diet. Because just keep in mind, there's the word diet. It's kind of a four-letter, well, technically it is a four-letter word, but it's really a four-letter word in many people's lives because we've been kind of traumatized by it, this idea of going on a diet. But the way I use the word diet here is it is our diet. It's your diet. It's what we eat. It's what we nourish ourselves with. So I really try to push back against diet dogma because most of it is a bunch of hogwash anyway. It's not really, most of it's not been proven in any way, shape, or form. And it just becomes one more way that we can do things wrong and feel guilty and bad about ourselves. So I just think it's really a bunch of hogwash like acai. All right, so that is a good, I'm gonna say that is a pound because we weighed it before. We didn't have a lot of waste from it except for those little papery parts. So let's see, we got them. And then we're gonna prep the rest of these veg. So another thing I've never cooked with is a poblano. And fun fact, these are from our plants. Fun fact, this is from Walmart. Makes mine look really small, but they're from our plant, so I'm pretty happy with that. We've got a few of those to go through. All right, so let us get to it. Now I don't want to waste a lot of this top part, so I'm just going to cut around the stem. Okay, I need to get a little bowl for my waste. Okay, put you there. Put you guys there. Okay, so we want these just peeled and minced, seeded and chopped, seeded and chopped. Okay. So we didn't need to seed the tomatillos, thank goodness, because that would have taken a long time and I wouldn't have had much left. But we just want to seed our poblanos and then definitely the jalapeños. Have I learned that lesson? And I'm kind of I'm a wimp. Oh, these smell so good. Okay, so I've learned just to get your knife in there and just open it up like so. So you've got kind of it spread out. I find it easier to cut from the kind of textured side than from the slick side. So we're gonna cut these into diced. Just a good hard rough chop, I guess they call it. And here. One thing we're trying to do is to create just a little garden in our, in our backyard. And I've been told, I haven't experienced, but I have been told that growing peppers is somewhat easy where I live, which is in zone 9B. I think we're getting there. I mean, our soil is getting amended. Every good rain helps, but it's been a little droughty lately. Let me get that out of there. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is gonna take a while, so I'm gonna just pipe down, get to work, and I think we're gonna speed through this. I'll see you in another moment. Alrighty, welcome back. That took a little while. I didn't want to make you sit there and have to listen to me blabber on about something as I'm trying not to cut my fingers. So all of these poblanos, this is 4 good-sized poblanos. 2 of ours equaled 1 of Walmart's. So we got that there, and then we have some jalapeños. But while I'm waiting for these are from our plant. Got to show off, Pretty proud of these. It takes a while. They're like $40 jalapeños. 1 from the store, 1 from our tree or our little plant. They're coming along. We did get one larger one before. Anyhow, I'm going to put the olive oil on the stove here so we can get that started. That warming up for us. Go here. Okay, we need about 2 tablespoons. I don't measure. We're just gonna do 2, 3, 4 little rounds there and let that start to heat up. Okay, we're gonna put our garlic in here to start. And that is just a bunch of good minced garlic. I kind of have this philosophy of, if it calls for 3 cloves, you can do 4 or 5. It really depends however you like it. Just make sure everyone in your party likes it the same. All right, so now we also need to do our onion. Running out of room here, y'all. That's good stuff. Okay. All right. So I'm just trying to cut through that first layer. Okay. Sure. Let's cut you. Well, this is interesting. It looks kind of like a little layer through there. But if that's the way nature made it, hopefully nature made it, we're going to go with it. So I'm just going to dice all these up. Today is a very choppy kind of recipe. Some of these I might just start prepping a little bit more ahead of time. You know, sometimes you don't know what you're doing until you get in the middle of it, right? Especially when it's a recipe you haven't done before. And one thing I'm trying to get better about, and we continually are working on this, is prepping ahead of time. Something I recommend a lot to my clients. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, you may not realize that I do a lot of metabolic work. It's really quite a passion of mine. I'm a retired chiropractor. I've always focused on nutrition because you literally are what you eat, and more importantly, you are what you absorb. So it's a really a key factor in not only healing, but staying well in the first place. So I'm a big proponent of nourishment and nutrition. Even bigger proponent of low carb living. That's why we're doing this channel. And we're calling it a test kitchen because sometimes we're going to take recipes that maybe we've enjoyed before, or clients have written in, or clients have asked me, hey, what's a good swap out for this particular kind of recipe? And it makes it fun. Try to figure out a lower carb way of eating something that has a good memory for you, or that you just enjoy. We chop these up a little bit more, and then we'll clear our plate here and do the jalapeños because I'm running out of room. Okay, and there we go. Okay, let's put everybody in the middle so we can take you over here and make sure I'm doing this right. I'm going to put all of them in. We did our onion, got our garlic, chopped peppers. Okay, let's see that that's ready. She's ready for her bath. Oh, can she do it? Nice. Oop, only a few jumpers. Okay, so we're gonna let this all get to going. Now we'll do the dangerous jalapeno. You never know what you're getting in there. Okay, and like I say, I'm a little bit of a wimp when it comes to spice, so I will probably leave some of those out and allow the spicy mouthed people in this family to add their own. I'm gonna do our little ones first because I'm so proud of them. Now let me tell you, they are hot. So these, the last ones we had, I mean, I was very proud of them. They pack a lot of punch in a very small amount of surface area, or I guess internal surface area. Anyway, and they're packed with seeds, so I think that's another good sign. Still not gonna eat them, but I will have a little bit of them. Now, if these were extra hot peppers, I would be wearing gloves, but they're not really. They're just, they're pretty normal. I'm just, like I say, kind of wimpy. And that's okay. Takes all kinds. Okay, those out of there. Probably if I cut them up smaller, then maybe I won't get a big hunk of it. That might be better. Easier for me. I will put these that are from our garden definitely in our little soup. Our Chile Verde. See how small I can get them. All right, I feel good about that. Boop. Okay. You over here. go nice and thin little strips here so we can get a small dice. And then, like I say, I'm gonna leave these on the side. Although, they really don't seem all that hot. Famous last words, right? And maybe I'll just go for it. I'm gonna put them in. Live dangerously here. But we are going to make them tiny. That's the interesting thing about some of these peppers is at times, you know, they're not really hot, and then other times they are, whether seeded or not. I'm sure there's absolutely a scientific reason as to why, something with the water, hydration, the amount of such and such in the soil. Feel free, if you know the reason, tell me in the comments. Love to know. Okay, so I'm gonna let this keep working. Great. Oops, I was supposed to put the peppers, the onions, the garlic in, and then the tomatillos. I just put them all in together, obviously. So let's see, I should start with infarctions. How many infarctions can I have in a recipe? Let's count. There's one. Okay, -1. And let's see what else I need to be getting ready. So as we're doing that, then we want to put the whole chicken pieces, which I learned in in this person's last recipes. There's a reason why they say the whole chicken breast versus the chopped up. So I'm gonna follow those directions this time. It's just kind of fun. Put that at the bottom. All right, so we're gonna let this simmer for just a little bit. Then we'll put in our chicken. We will let this do its job and cook. Okay, we're gonna give it one last stir here by itself. And then I'm gonna come over and put in the chicken pieces. There we go. This has all been pre-rinsed. To put those in the bottom, which I think is a good idea. There's 1, 2. And we're going to go for a little extra. We're going to go for 3. This will be about 3 pounds each, of 3 pounds of chicken instead of just 2.5. But I don't want to waste a ½ pound of chicken. Put that all in there. Give these some good stirring so we get the flavor all imbued. Okay, the chicken is in, and now I need to do all these wonderful herbs and spices and then the chicken broth. So we need tablespoon, 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 teaspoon, bay leaf. Rock and roll. Now, one thing when we have these kind of guys, sometimes the measuring implements will not quite fit in there. So then I go a little bit smaller. And there are 3 teaspoons in 1 tablespoon. Wonder if you knew that. I knew that because I looked it up. But we will do this since we need tablespoons. We're going to do 3 teaspoons. Oh, coriander smells so darn good. I'm going to do somewhat level. You know, I just don't want to have an extra amount. And we'll just dust her over there. So there's 1, 2, and 3 for the coriander. There we go. One bay leaf. Let's get a good one in there. Oh, okay. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, cumin. Okay, whoops. And these are not quite going to fit, so we will get even craftier. So if I have a 1/4 teaspoon and there are 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon, this is for all you math whizzes out there. How many 1/4 teaspoons do I need to put in here? You didn't know you were going to get a math lesson today, did ya? So if my mather is right, that's going to be 12. So I better pipe down and count, or I'm going to do too many. There's 3, 4, call that 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. That's not good. 12. All right. Was I math right? If I have 3 tablespoons and then I have a 1/4 teaspoon, I think so. 4 times 3, 12. Yep. Okay. Just checking, y'all. Keeping you on your toes. Did our cumin, coriander. I need the dried oregano. And then salt. We did our bay leaf. Okay. Last one, y'all. Now this I'm just going to pour out because I'm not as afraid of doing too much of it. And this is dried oregano. There we go. Right on. Okay, so I chose to do the dried herbs and spices on it first, just to let that get into the meat a little bit more. And now I'm going to add the broth. Let me see if I can just, I wonder if I can do the broth around the sides a little more. For some reason, I just think it needs to have those herbs on it for a while. So this is 4 cups, and we need 4 cups. Right. Well, I guess by the time we get all that liquid in there, herbs are going to come up to the top anyhow. And we're just going to let that get all mixed in then. All right, folks, I'm going to let this do its thing. Make it back up to temperature. Am I supposed to let it boil? I would assume, simmer for 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, so it's going to be a little while. I'm going to let this simmer and we will be back. See you in a few. Okay, this shall be interesting. So now we're bringing our chicken over here for the Chile Verde. And let me get 2 forks. I did not have anything to wash. Boom. Okay. Oh yeah, baby. Ah, so this is neat. This is what it ends up cooking down into. All that bright tomatillo becomes a little bit more subdued, and it smells heavenly. Wow. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. These were pretty thick. Oh yeah, they're cooked all the way through. Right on. Okay. So when it says to just use 2 forks, you want to kind of splay it like this. And we'll get that going. It's also a good time to get any of the gristly parts out. Like sometimes, there's tendons and things. You don't want to put that back in with your shred. So right here. That does not go in the compost pile. I think for the most part, we've got this pretty nicely shredded up. One section not so good. Okay. I'm not wasting any of this goodness. Put you all back in there. Okay, so now you can see we've got that all shredded, and that is just looking delectable. I cannot even believe how good this looks. Good. Never cooked anything like this. This chicken Chile Verde. I'm excited. This might have to spark us to do a Mexican themed month. Ooh, I guess that could be May. Cinco de Mayo. Oh, we'll see. Stick around till May. You'll find out. We put this back on. All right, and now it's time to do the deconstructed or chunky version of the, let me get this right, folks. Like I say, this isn't my recipe. This is something I am enjoying from a spicy perspective. And this is chicken chili verde recipe. But yours truly, who did not read the directions, I'm sensing a theme here, but I was assuming the immersion blender was just for the broccoli cheddar. If you haven't seen the broccoli cheddar yet, you got to go check out that recipe because it's really tasty. But this is something that I should have immersion blended all the greens and the onion while I was shredding the chicken. I did not do that, and I put all that shredded chicken back in, and there was just way too much to try to take out. So I am trying this, we're gonna call it the chunky version. Let's see, I want to try to get a tomatillo, and get some chicken, and I want to get some poblano. Here we go. Bon appetit. I mean, that is really tasty. And the tomatillo, they're just like tomatoes, basically, where you just get that kind of like if you have stewed tomatoes, it just tastes like that. But I'm thinking had I followed the directions and it was more of a blended, it would have been really good too. So the next time you make it, we'll do it that way. And if you've watched this video before you've tried cooking it, you can make your choice. You just want to be sure not to follow me step by step unless you want the exact same result. So when you're doing the chicken, as you have that chicken out, maybe let it set for a moment, then use your immersion blender, and then go ahead and put that chicken back in. All right. I hope you enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I'm going to keep eating. This is really, really tasty. See you next time. Bye-bye.